Hey Lionheart folks, it's Lev. Welcome back to another video. For those of you who are new, I use he and pronouns. So I just finished filming the video about what I look for in a partner. Now I'm filming a second video about physical pain. Just a little heads up, I'm gonna be talking about my medical conditions, and some of it have I guess descriptions that might be graphic to you. So yeah, it's just a little heads up, physical pains related to a lot of my medical conditions, and um, I went through a lot, and I'm just gonna talk about it honestly and rawly. So yeah, it's just a heads up that it might be a bit graphic. So I was a relatively healthy kid until the year of 2014. I was in year 11. Boom, this acute, what I thought would be an acute medical condition, which ended up being chronic. Um, this serious condition just hit me out of nowhere, and what it was, so it started as red dots on my legs, just like little red dots. It was strange. I went to emergency room for it because I'm like, this is weird. What are these red dots? And then very short. I mean, in an acute manner, like it very quick whatever in a very quick period of time, short period of time, it started growing bigger. I mean, some of the dots died down, but there were a few that sort of grew bigger and bigger and bigger, until it was just like open wounds. Like it eventually became, it was purple wounds on my leg. There was like two two on my right leg, two on my left leg, lower left leg, like near the shin, like near the ankle. Actually, I'll take pictures of my scars right now and I'll attach it with this video soon. Um, actually, I'll do that now. Here it is. These are my scars. So it didn't always look like that. So when it first happened, it was like first purple wounds. Like it was just like, it was sort of bulgy. Like it stuck out of the skin. It wasn't like a flat surface. It was just straight up purple. The And this links to physical pain. The amount of physical pain I was in was unbearable, and I was 16 at the time. It was near my 17th birthday, but it was like a month or two before my 17th birthday, so it started when I was 16. It was just non-stop physical pain, throbbing pain, my legs just throbbing pain non-stop. I was limping for like 7 or 8 months. And in addition to just this severe non-stop physical pain, I had a bunch of other symptoms. Like I had recurrent blood noses. I was spitting out blood that came from I don't know where. Like it wasn't bleeding in the mouth, but I just kept, every time I spat out something, it was just blood. I kept spitting out blood. And I don't know where it came from. And yeah, mostly the pain in my legs, but it was just throbbing, that sort of sent a shock through my entire nervous system, just 24/7, non-stop pain. And when I first went to emergency room for this, they did a biopsy, which is essentially they took a small piece of tissue from the wound for testing to see like what might be up. But like all the tests I did came back negative. Everything was clear, yet this thing happened. And it turned out to be an autoimmune disease where my own immune cells is destroying my healthy tissue. That's why it was so hard to detect. But back to the physical pain. Before they did the biopsy, they did that directly in the wound where the spots were happening and on my thighs. And before they took the piece of tissue for testing, they put anesthesia in it to numb the pain. They jabbed the needle right into my wounds and right into my thigh. It was ridiculous amount of pain. It, I remember the nurse at the hospital was talking to me to distract me, but it was the most unbearable physical pain I've ever been in my entire life. like a needle in a wound. The wound's already hurting, and a needle's jabbed in there, and then a piece of tissue was taken for testing. I was 16. I was shit scared, and I didn't know what was going on. I guess just the fact that I had to limp everywhere in pain. Like, I rode my bike to school. I still went to school because I didn't want to miss out. Because I, back then, I believed that academics literally was more important than my health. Like, I was literally dying, bleeding, in pain, but academics still came first. I'm like, I gotta go to school. Um, that's just fucked up how academics was put before my health. But that's what I truly believe. I'm like, if I don't go to school, I'm gonna fail. And if I fail, my life is doomed forever. If it happened now, I would not. I would just like school. Second, I'm just looking out for my health right now. But back then, I saw academics as literally the most important thing. And the showers were painful. So I I also bandaged it like every day. It wasn't like the standard bandages like with where you get a small cut or something. It was like these rectangular bandages, very expensive. Spent thousands of dollars on bandages. When I took a shower, I had to wrap my leg in the Glad wrap because I couldn't get soap and water in it. So it was the band-aid plus wrapping my legs in Glad wrap every single day so that things wouldn't get into it. And there was also a point where I had to, the specialist doctors told me to soak my legs in bleach diluted with water. It was like just a little bit of bleach diluted in a bucket of water, soak my legs in it for X amount of minutes every day to prevent it from getting infected. The amount of physical pain I was in, like already in pain, then I had to soak my legs in salt and bleach. Actually, it was salt and bleach. Was it salt and bleach? Definitely bleach was in there. I don't. Was it salt? I don't remember. I don't remember if there was salt in there, but definitely bleach diluted with water. Already stick my leg into that, sitting in that for like X amount of minutes each leg. The pain was just ridiculous, and I honestly don't know how I survived that as a 16, 17-year-old kid. And then in 2015, when I was in year 12, it still happened. It still continued on. It was until like, I don't know, August, September, no, August, September, October 2015, like past the second half of 2015 that it started healing and the pain started dying down, which is great to be honest. And I could walk properly again without having to drag my legs around. Like, I had two wounded legs and I dragged one leg on the better leg, which I don't know what the better leg was, but the leg that was stronger. I don't even know which leg I did it with, but I dragged one leg with the other leg, um, in serious pain. Yeah, and that went to remission. And then I'm like, yes, I'm done with pain. No more physical pain. This medical condition's gone into remission. I am healed. I'm good. Wrong. After this condition, there was just non-stop medical conditions ever since this first condition hit me. 2015, like near the end of the year, I was pain free for a few months when this went to remission. Boom, 2016, I started getting severe abdominal pain. First, it was my legs, and then it went to my abdomen. So then I'm like, I'm just done with this condition, with this pain, and now you're telling me there's another condition with more pain, like, and it was severe abdominal pain too. It wasn't like a small tummy ache. No, it was severe pain. This, I mean, it wasn't throbbing like my legs were, but the pain, like, and I'm like, shit. All right, round two. And fun fact, this abdo pain took 3 years to diagnose because, again, all the medical tests I did, I even did a colonoscopy, which is when they look inside my intestines and system with the camera up my rear end, and a gastroscopy, which is putting a camera down my throat, looking at my stomach and small intestine. The colonoscopy and the rear end thing was to look at my large intestine and the other end of my intestine that the camera down my throat couldn't reach. All of the tests were like negative. There is nothing wrong with you. But I'm like, I'm still in severe pain, literally every day. Why? It was really bad. It's just like I had to live life and like go to uni and like thrive in the midst of physical pain, torturing physical pain. Mm. And then in mid 2018, I saw a gastroscopist. What is the gastroenterologist? That's the word. Um, and we did what was called a hydrogen methane breath test. So this tests for, I guess, intolerances to different sugars like fructose, sucrose, oligosaccharides, etc. And it was from doing this test that we found out the reason why I've been getting abdomen pain for the past 3 years is because I've been food intolerant. Which is weird because when I was younger, like before this abdo pain happened, like I was healthy. Like I could eat anything and everything. I had no food intolerances whatsoever. And then I was diagnosed as having like a lot of food intolerance. I'm lactose intolerant and intolerant to a bunch of other sugars. That's why the diet, like my system, my gut couldn't process the food and absorb it properly. And it was like it couldn't take all the different sugars, and I didn't realize that until I did this test and they diagnosed me. The blanket statement is IBS, which is like, yeah, but I was intolerant to a bunch of different foods, and I started a low FODMAP diet, and I'm still on that low FODMAP diet to this day, and that was why I got after pain because my gut couldn't take it, the sugars, and so my diet is very restrictive, and every time before I eat anything, literally, or before I even buy anything, I read the ingredient list on every single thing I buy and eat. Literally, reading the ingredients. If it's like one thing in there I can't tolerate, I don't eat it at all. Like something I miss a lot is eating noodles. Like it's all wheat and there's no like gluten-free noodles, like Hokkien noodles. So I haven't eaten that in like years, which is a bit saddening. Yes, the physical pain. Ever since I went on this diet, it significantly helped reduce the pain because I was feeding my system things that it could digest and tolerate. But all those years I lived in uncertainty, in that physical pain, it hurt a lot, and it really messed with my mental health. Like in 2018, my depression, anxiety flared up again, and my head wasn't great. And in addition to my mental health not being great, I was in severe physical pain every day. And again, I don't know how I survived that. And I managed to thrive at uni and like get a high distinction average. And then like these aren't like diagnosed conditions, but I have been getting chest pain on and off since 2019. And I'm just scared, like, okay, first it was my legs, and then it was my abdomen. What's next? My heart. Like, I'm just thinking this thing is just going up, and all of my conditions have been weird, and like, even the most specialist doctors could not understand what was going on with me and my symptoms because it's just very out of the normal, out of the ordinary to what most people experience. And it's just reflecting back, was like, I don't know what it's like. I mean, there are periods where I don't get pain for a few weeks or a month maximum, but then I don't know what it's like to live a pain-free life anymore, like a life free of physical pain because I experience it so often. And even like now when sometimes I don't even eat anything I can't tolerate. Like I stick to low FODMAP. I eat things I know I can tolerate, and sometimes I still get pain. It's just like I don't know what it's like to live without pain anymore, and pain's been such a normal, for lack of better words, normal part of my life for ever since I was 16. And I guess if I were in future have literally a year or even like a few months in a row without pain, it's just gonna be weird to me because that's not normal to me anymore. What's normal to me is being in physical pain. I guess my life experience I'm 24 right now. My experiences for the past 8 months is just not average. It does not fit into the average of what most people experience. And there's also a lot of trauma that's come from this, like psychological trauma, which I think I've got a grip on by this point. But the trauma in my body and nervous system from all of these conditions and all of this physical pain, like it fucks me up, like quite literally fucks me up. And it's it's been taking a lot of effort to heal not only my nervous system but my body in general, because it's just been through so much physical pain. Again, just like sort of recalibrating everything, it's taken a lot of work, and I'm still on that journey to healing my body. Not to mention, gender dysphoria does not help either. I forgot to mention, like, gender dysphoria in this mix does not help anyone, especially my body. I realized I said 8 months, 8 years. So ever since I was 16, so it's 8 years, not 8 months. I guess after being through all of this physical pain and still continuing to experience physical pain, not to the same level like severity, not like constant severity, but it's still here. And I guess that's a reason why I try to take care of my body so well and sort of very protective of it in a way. It's because I know how much trauma it's been through, and I don't want it to go through unnecessary further trauma. And it sort of links to my previous video about relationships and what I look for in a partner. But I don't do physical intimacy unless I truly trust the person and we establish like a sense of safety first. And that's, I think, a way of me also protecting my body from like trauma. Like if I went out and had intercourse with someone right now, someone I don't know, and I just hooked up with them, the amount of trauma it would result in my body and my mind, but also my body, would be not irreparable, but will require a long time and a lot of effort to heal from. And that's why I don't do that. Just as I'm filming this video, like chest pain, literally right now at this moment that I'm speaking is come back. It's not severe, but it's here, and it's like I feel it. It's my heart is literally hurting. And this is what I mean by, even though it's not severe, I don't know what it's like to live a pain-free life anymore. And pain is just normal for me. And actually, it used to really negatively affect my mental health, but I think recently, like past month or so, I've just reframed this entire thing. Like I've fully accepted it. This is a part of my life now, and no amount of running away from it or denying it is gonna change the fact that it's here, it's happening to me. So I've just like, whenever it happens now, I'm just like, acknowledge it. Okay, you're here. My body's in pain. You're here. I ask myself, what do I need right now? Um, and yeah, I don't fight with this. I don't fight with its existence anymore. I'm just like, okay, you're a part of this ride. I'm just gonna do my best and just carry on my normal daily activities. without letting it impede me too much. And a reflection is that, like, just being through all this physical pain, surviving all of this, especially the ordeal when I was 16, 17, it really and like, even though it wasn't ideal that I studied while I was literally like in a hospital and like going through all of this and not prioritizing my health, it really shows how capable I am of achieving things and literally not letting anything stop me from achieving what I want. Really shows my lion heart too, especially when I was younger. I was shit scared. I had no idea what was going on, yet I not only persevered, I thrived in the academic sense, and I had the psychological ability and capacity to actually study and do well at school in the midst of this chaotic pain. It wasn't a fun situation to be in, but it really sheds light on me as a person and how committed and the amount of grit I have towards things I truly care about. I do want to say that if you experience like a chronic medical condition or acute or experience like significant degrees or really any physical pain in your life, then you are definitely not alone, and it is a shitty situation. Like, just being in physical pain is not a fun situation to be in, but you're definitely not alone in this. Even if it may feel that way, you are not alone in this. Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you in the next video.